Well, there, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, coming at you tonight. In case you're wondering what that is, yes, we are sitting on Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. And if you're new to this stream, which has been going from the 1st through the 25th, it's a very special stream. It's called 25 Gifts of Inspiration around the holidays. I basically unwrap a gift every single night from the 1st to the 25th. And I give you some insights about how this tool, this gift, can actually improve the quality of your life and others. Now, sometimes you can use what I'm giving you, but a lot of times it's a metaphor of how you can change your life. So if you're here, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. It's great to have you back. Why don't you go ahead and give me a like, a support, whether you're on Facebook, John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur, whether you're on my LinkedIn page, whether you're on John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur's YouTube page, or John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur's Twitch page. Give me some kind of like, show me some love, all right? And then why don't you comment below? Yes, you comment below. What's in this package tonight? It's not very big. No, it's kind of long, right? It's not very heavy at all. What is in this package? All right. Then tag some of your friends, your colleagues, and your associates, and be sure to share the entire stream with them after we're done. All right, so let's get right into this. Let's open this up, shall we? Great. We're on day 22, by the way. That means we only have tomorrow, which is Thursday, Friday, and then, yes, it's going to be Christmas Day. That'll be the end of the stream for this series, and then we'll have another series, which will be the 26th or the 31st, about setting your goals. It's going to be a real doozy. You're not going to want to miss it. All right. So I'm going to start opening this up, right? So hard to keep the whole thing on camera. It's kind of big. It's not heavy, though. It's not an easy thing to unwrap, actually. Wasn't easy to wrap either. Oh, what do we got here? We got an American flag. All right. So why, excuse me, did I gift myself an American flag? Well, a flag is a piece of cloth and it has meaning, right? Our flag, okay, for the United States has a lot of meaning. Did you know that? So the stripes represent the original 13 colonies, and the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. The red stands for the hardiness and the velour. The white symbolizes purity and innocence, and the blue represents our vigilance and perseverance, and of course, justice. So why did I give myself a flag tonight? And why did I want to share this with you as the 22nd gift of inspiration around the holidays? So a flag is a symbol, right? It's a symbol of our nation, of our honor, of what our country stands for to us, okay? So I want to ask you a question right now. Do you have symbols in your life of what something stands for, what something's going to stand for? Maybe symbols of your success, symbols of you making money, symbols of you becoming well-known, symbols of you achieving your goals. Maybe it's a symbol of being healthy. So what would your symbol be? Well, again, I have a flag here, but we could talk about some other types of symbols, and I can roll this all up. The nice thing about a flag is, you can just kind of roll it up nice and neatly, or you can basically hoist it up the flagpole, or you can hoist it down, never letting it touch the ground, obviously. What are some symbols that you can have in your life, and they may mean something? Well, Maybe you're trying to manage your time better. And one symbol of that could be just the fact that you're wearing a watch. Every time you look at your watch, you can note that whenever you see a watch, you see a clock, that you're going to be cognizant of managing time better. So a symbol doesn't have to be anything crazy or, you know, something that was created from scratch. It could just be an object or something in the world that we all know about, but you associate or assimilate to it a different meaning. Maybe you're looking to become a better speaker. So now, let's say anytime that you hear a podcast or a stream like this one, or anytime maybe you see a microphone, that's going to drive home the fact and the point that you're a great speaker. You see, when we take a symbol in our life and we make it iconic, and we can feel it and we can believe it and we can live it even before it's happened, our brain doesn't know that it hasn't happened yet because we're going to fire the same neurons. In fact, you remember Hebb's law. Neurons that are wired together fire together. Therefore, if we create this type of, how can I say, this type of experience or these set of connections in our brain, we're going to be ready for things that we may not have been. Maybe, I know you're looking at the painting in the back. Maybe you want to be an artist. So anytime that you happen to see a picture in a magazine, or you see a frame somewhere at a restaurant or in a public place, you are going to, or even in your own home, you're going to just resonate with the fact that you're a great painter. What else can you use to drive yourself forward? Great question. Some people wear a ring, and I'm not talking so much about a wedding ring, I'm talking about more of a college ring. When you look at that ring, what does that ring mean to you? What does it symbolize? Well, to a lot of people, it symbolizes perseverance, because college is not something you just fly through. I don't care how smart you are. College is meant to challenge you. If college didn't challenge you, then you didn't go to a great school. College is meant to challenge you and not there to give you all the tools you need in your field, but to build the stage so that you can learn anything you want to. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? What else could I have a symbol for? Well, maybe you get stressed a lot in life. So maybe whenever you happen to see, it could be a deer outside, that you just get this sense of calming in your body. Now, you could come up with lots of different symbols, but tonight's whole goal is to get you to realize that where you are right now is not where you have to be. You can be somewhere different. You see, you got to where you are today because of what you did yesterday and the days before and what you thought of. If we change our thoughts and if we keep anchoring things with symbols in our mind, they're going to become second nature to us. Maybe you're looking for more confidence in your life. What could give you more confidence? Well, really simple. Anytime you see a pole or a tree or a column anywhere, you just know and feel how confident you are. That's pretty cool, right? I mean, really mondo cool. Whether you see a column on a state building, or you see it at your home, or you see it at another public building, or you see a tree, or you see what we used to call lolly canes in a basement. or other types of poles, or maybe you see the big lamp poles in the street, that will drive home the point that you're confident and strong. Now, you might say to me, John, how does this work? Well, we take an everyday object and then we basically put what we want to feel or to be on that object. So anytime I see a pole, it could be thin, it could be thick, it doesn't matter. You can make it as something as simple as a toothpick. You could say anything that looks like a pole or anything that looks round and is greater than an inch gives me the feeling of being strong and confident. Then you know what happens? You start to build that in your brain. And little by little, by Hebb's law, neurons that are wired together certainly fire together. Thus, if you can appreciate right now where you are, and just think about one thing in your life that you want to change this moment. Maybe, I don't know, you want to become a better writer. So how can you become a better writer? Anytime that you see a book, or maybe you see a pen, you're instinctively going to get the ability to become a better writer. Now that's pretty powerful. So does it happen just by thinking about it? No. So you've got to feel it, you got to believe it. And what this does is it takes you into a state. Then, of course, you got to take action. But the reason most people don't take action in life, you know what that is? It's because they are scared. It's because they feel they're not confident. They don't have this. They don't have that. They're not strong enough. They're not smart enough. They're not wise enough. They're not old enough. They're not young enough. They're not a million other things. When you start to embrace this and it becomes part of your everyday life, things start to change. We learned something very wise a long time ago from Dr. Dwayne Dyer, who's not with us, God rest his soul. And he said, which he learned from Patanjali's, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Now, what this means is that what we're seeing in the world and the way we react is a perception. Therefore, what we do and what we become are all perceptions. So if you don't like something, you can change it. But when we change, again, the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Now, you won't think or agree with me until you start doing this. You're like, that doesn't make sense. Try it. Just change the way you look at one or two things tomorrow. You were like, oh, wow, that's amazing. I didn't even know that was possible. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are possible in your life, but many people never, ever will get the chance to even execute them because they don't believe they can. And once they don't believe they can, it's like they're telling the universe, okay, I don't want it. I don't want it. Or the minute you say, I can't, you're telling the universe, I don't want it. So what does a symbol do? Well, for years, the symbol of our flag and our true flag, it has united us as a country. Okay? We all know the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. So we all know the Pledge of Allegiance, right? When we know a symbolism, and the nice thing about a symbolism is that you don't have to disclose it to anybody. Anytime you see the symbolism, you can just immediately go in that state. I've had people that I've helped that have been on stage and they've had stage fright. And one of the things I shared with them is that whenever they saw anybody in the audience, okay, and then they felt that they were, they were in the audience, they're about ready to perform. They might get a little nervous. As soon as they saw people in the audience, I wanted them to immediately just realize that every single person is is their best cheerleader in their life. The one or two people that are the best cheerleaders in their life, and replace all those people with those people. And imagine them cheering you on and raving you on. How are you going to have a challenge speaking to people that are cheering and raving you on? You're not. You're going to be able to do this hands down every single time. The reason why it doesn't work is most people, when they get older, feel that they don't want to play anymore because they're an adult. The truth of the matter is, and I've done this in lots of my videos, I've said that when you play and imagine like the way you were when you were a kid, you'll start to get things like you were when you were a kid. Now, what you got when you were younger is different than what you want now. Your toys have changed. Your desires have changed. The type of relationships you want obviously have changed. But when you can truly admit to yourself that I'm just like that little kid, and I want to creatively play in my business, or I want to creatively play in my life. And by doing that, yes, I want to create symbolisms that are going to be in my own world, and they're going to transform me and give me the confidence and give me that push that's going to be able to propel me forward so I can do whatever I want. You see, a lot of times people are afraid of symbols because they think, oh, well, if I do that, people are going to know what it's about. They don't have to know what it's about. You don't have to share it with them. You could take an everyday thing, like I told you about a clock, right? Maybe you're in a college lab, and maybe you're taking physics and you're all nervous. Well, you could say to yourself that anytime that you're in a school classroom or college classroom, and let's say that there is a blackboard or a projector with something being shown on it, you immediately just naturally absorb the information. Now, that's pretty cool, right? No one in your class needs to know that you've made that symbolism. How do you make a symbolism? Real quick, so we can wrap up. Write down what it is. You can do it on the computer, you can do it on paper, it doesn't matter. But write down in detail what it is. Now, once you know what the symbol is, you have to create a thing like a clock. No. We said anytime that you see a clock anywhere or a watch, you're just going to immediately know that you're great at time management and you're becoming better and better at it every day. How about one about making money? That's a great one. So anytime you reach for your keys, this is a great one. Anytime you reach for your keys or your wallet, you just know that there's so much money that you can just spend on anything you want. And the more that you pick up your keys and the more that you pick up your wallet, you just keep gravitating toward more money. It just sort of just pours into you. And no one ever has to know this little secret. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I'm sure you know by now it is a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be with you every single evening. We only have Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday. That's 3 more days left. 2 more, actually, and then the final day, the 25th. If you got value from tonight's live stream, go ahead and go out to youtube.com after you share this, of course. Type in my name, John space E space Morley, and the word serial entrepreneur, and look for the key phrase help keep our content free. Below that, make the choice to click on that PayPal link and buy my team and I a cup of coffee. We'll be so grateful with the pennies and dollars. We'll invest them into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, and yes, even new staff to give you the best content that will get you off your rear into action and to create a future that you've been waiting your entire life to reach. That's going to blow you out of the water, I know. but it's going to happen. So I hope tonight was great learning about the symbolisms of the flag and how the flag is just one thing we use every day in our life. But if you create more symbols in your life, you're going to have your own little private world of things that are going to silently motivate you like that. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I will be back tomorrow. And you know what tomorrow is, don't you? You sure do. Tomorrow is December 23rd, which is Thursday. And I'll have another great unwrapping for you then. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the night. And remember to share this to everyone and tell people about it, because my book's coming out next year. 25 Gifts of Inspiration to Change Your Life and Everyone Else Around It. Take care, everyone.